So this is actually a really good segue. So what we would say about this Disney album is that these are classic melodies played by legends, played really well, and they're just really enjoyable to listen to, right?
You've slid that in perfect, man.
Yeah.
Is this like the bitchy episode?
Yeah.
Really into it? Like, this is the Levi and Mike become fucking Vice, or...
Sometimes it just comes out of me, man. My toe is really sore, so I'm in a grumpy mood.
Crabbit bastard.
Yeah, crabbit bastard.
Crabbit, for those of you that don't know Scottish vernacular and slang, is like grumpy. But it's like angry, aggressive grumpy. Not just like in a bad mood and kind of sulking a little bit. It's like being outwardly abrasive.
Yeah. So, on the outwardly abrasive thing, so Disney, great album of guys, legends, playing great classic tunes and just being really good about it.
I know something that was outwardly abrasive. The next topic.
Yeah. Kirk Hammett, the legend. I mean, he is a legend. There's no avoiding that.
Oh, credit where credit's due. He's playing what is essentially the biggest metal band on the planet.
Yep.
And probably will be for years and years and years to come.
He got up at a baseball game recently and played the National Anthem. Whew.
Did he?
Whew.
Is that what he was playing?
Whew.
It's interesting.
I don't see, for someone that follows copyright law on YouTube, I should know this. I feel like it would be great if I could cut in the audio of this, but it's just opening you up to risk. So I won't, but I will encourage you all to go onto YouTube and have a look for Kirk Hammett playing the National Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
The thing when people play the National Anthem is there's this... It's tradition to embellish it, right?
Oh, of course.
Use it as a vehicle to show off your chops. Not just as musicians, but as singers as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like you're trying to do your country proud, and America being such quite a proud country in that sense anyway. It's like, can we make it American? It's big, it's
bombastic.
I've
never been able to use that word in a sentence until now, but it feels right.
Bombastic. I was going to say flamboyant, but I don't think that's the right way to explain it. Like monolithic, it's like this statue of grandeur. It's this beautiful big wonder of the world. It's meant to be, and everybody tries their hardest to paint it in that light and make it the biggest thing they can. And
there are some great videos on YouTube talking about the evolution of public performances of the National Anthem. Done by a musician. The video was done by a musician, and he's bringing up transcriptions of people singing the melodies and just showing you how much people have elaborated the melody over the years. Really interesting video to watch. I should probably dig it out because it kind of highlights, like I say, that evolution. Originally, it would be sung very straight to the point. Sing the melody as it was composed. That kind of makes sense, and that's exactly what Kirk Hammett has done here. He has played this like a 14-year-old that has learned it literally sounds like a 14-year-old standing up in school and playing hot cross buns.
And the twice he's tried to embellish it was basically just him masturbating as Floyd Rose.
Yeah. Of course he's got a wah though. So.
Oh aye.
Yeah. That's a surefire way to express yourself, isn't it? Do you think
I'd rather
he does it
milk.
just to give people ammo because he knows how much they love it when he does it?
I think he's just at the point where he doesn't give a fuck.
Mm.
And if that's the case, hats off to him and great respect. Like, he's been getting ragged on and bashed on for years and years for being everybody's guitar hero when you first pick up a guitar, and within a couple of years you go,
oh dear.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, me gusta.
Yeah. So with the National Anthem over the years, you have Mariah Carey doing it and really getting quite flamboyant, and then all of those R&B singers doing it, and da 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 da, as much melisma as possible. I'm throwing in a music term.
Smart arse.
Yeah. Cool. And that's kind of the way it's done. I noticed, who was it? Was it Fergie did it just recently, and she got absolutely panned for it because she did this whacked kind of jazz reharmonized version of it. I thought it was really cool, and I think it takes a lot of balls to stand up and sing a national anthem like that, something so recognizable, and to be willing to put so much of an interpretation upon it.
I'd be interested to hear that, actually.
We'll listen to it. We'll listen to it afterwards. Really cool. In fact, write National Anthem down there while I'm doing this rant. So I had a lot of respect for it. I appreciate that you can take things too far, but ultimately, where is the line? And it's not for us to say this is where the line is. It's the line will move.
Music is art. There's no line.
Yeah,
you push it as far as you want.
Yeah, I don't think it's disrespectful to be expressive with a melody like that.
It'd be disrespectful if you were singing like horrendous lyrics over the top of it, or like attributing it to something flippantly or something out of order.
Yeah,
but trying to just do something different with it, you're right, it's not disrespectful. It's
I don't
not
think
out
she
of order.
butchers it as much as, say, Hendrix often butchered it. And when Hendrix did it, it was a political statement. It was supposed to sound like war, so people aren't up in arms about that. People don't get up in arms about Malmsteen doing the
people just get upset about other things.
Or Zakk Wylde doing the national anthem. So, sorry, Kirk. I feel you... I'm not going to say you let the team down there. I think you did exactly what I would have expected. I knew what I was in for when I clicked play.
Bonus material of watching that is you get to see Lars Ulrich pretending that he is the ball boy or the pitcher.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Like, you know, you get the little bobbleheads at games. It's like watching one of them standing at centre of the baseball pitch court field.
The baseball pitch court field.
I don't watch sports, man. I'm not interested.
I've been to see a baseball game. It was fascinating, but I don't know anything about baseball. I'm going to say it's the pitcher's mound.
All right.
That's a guess.
All right.
I feel like it's called the pitcher's mound.
Let me mount the pitcher's mound. That sounds really dirty.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah. So, segue onto a great guitar player.
Yep, someone who is actually a great guitar player.
Do it.
Seems to get mixed feelings from people, despite the fact that he is technically and musically fucking incredible, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm probably one of those people. So we're talking about Jeff Loomis. I'm not a fan, and not in a he's done anything that I listen to and go, this isn't good. I think it's probably more a case of I was kind of moving away from metal when everyone was making a song and dance about Jeff Loomis. So yeah, I've not heard anything that's made me go, oh wow, cool, I want to get back into that kind of thing. But when I listen to him, I can't say anything other than he's a gret player. He's a great player.
How much of his stuff you listen to?
I mean, I've done some transcribing for him, so
okay, so
a reasonable amount. Yeah,
you don't get me wrong. He has got like set things and set riffs and licks that he does play in quite a lot of his, and like themes in quite a lot of his music. But no, like I think he's fantastic. Anyway, to move on to the actual point of talking about Jeff Loomis, we spoke previously about endorsements and artists having certain like signature models and stuff, and we spoke about Andy James moving to Kiesel. But Jeff Loomis has left Schecter, and we've sat in this story since the start of March, thinking, just wait.
Even January.
Yeah, there was rumours in January, wasn't there?
Yeah, because he kind of wasn't at the Schecter booth at all. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think that's when it all kind of was like, well, where is he?
Yeah.
So as things have went on and on, there has been no word whatsoever as to what Jeff is actually doing, whether he is launching his own brand, whether he is moving to another brand, whether he has just decided he's not really into having an endorsement.
We have a quote from him though. So this was told to All That Shreds. He said, I have nothing but good things to say about Schecter Guitars. Excellent people that work there. It was just one of those things where I was with them for 12 years and I wanted to change. I think my legacy was always the Jeff Loomis JL7 model. It's always been the model that sold the most and is the most popular. I tried some other guitar designs with the company and they weren't so successful. I just felt personally like I wanted to move on and be a free agent. That's the interesting part to me. And be able to play whatever I want because I'm an avid collector of guitars. I've got a bunch of Les Pauls and Strats and they've always been sitting around my house collecting dust. When it comes down to an endorsement, you can only play what you're endorsing.
Which isn't technically correct, but we'll move on to that later on.
And I wanted more freedom to play any guitar out of my collection. I got fed up with that. I was just like, guys, I think my time has come where after 12 years of being with the company, I just want to be free. And that's what happened. They were a bit disappointed. I think sometimes you need to change and just move on from it and try something else. So I'm a free agent right now, and I'm delighted at where I am.
I'm a free agent right now is a very interesting way to put it, after saying I'm a free agent.
Yeah, and I don't buy it, and you don't buy it either, because can you think of any examples of artists that are endorsed by companies and have signature models with companies that play other guitars as well?
No.
Richie Allen?
Oh, true, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Kirk Hammett?
Okay, fair enough. I didn't even think of those two. That's a very fair point. Yep. Richie obviously being an Ormsby endorsee, but he still plays his Ibanez quite faithfully. I think he plays a Music Man as well, potentially.
Maybe.
I think he's got a Petrucci, but I could be totally wrong.
Yep. Kirk Hammett, he has the Peter Green's Les Paul, and he plays that out on the road, but he has a signature model of ESP, and ESP are all right with it.
He also plays quite a few weird ESPs that he's got as custom shops that aren't obviously signature models.
Yep.
Not quite the same thing as not being part of endorsee, but
John Schofield, he has a signature Ibanez, and there was a period a couple of years ago where he just was out on the road playing Fender Telecasters because that's what he wanted to do, and then Ibanez made him a lawsuit Telecaster for him to play, and it's one of point is that's not strictly true.
Yeah, I did point out because I know that there's companies who aren't that strict with endorsements either.
Yeah,
there are some who it'd rather be like a casual agreement that if you love the instrument and you want to represent the instrument and the brand, and they want to show you off for who you are, then they will. But it's not a strictly you have to be an endorser, you have to represent this brand alone, and we'd be disappointed or even move towards not having this business relationship if you chose to play our guitars and represented them instead of us. Yeah, which it's more an advertising deal than endorsement, but it's not uncommon.
Point is, Jeff sold a lot of guitars for that company, and I don't believe for one second that if he said to them, "Look, I want to stay with you. I love the business relationship we've had, but I've got this cool Les Paul at home that I quite enjoy, and I'd like to be able to use that on some things." And what we're looking at here essentially is I can either leave, or you can let me play some other guitars as well. The only reason that wouldn't be the case, well, there's two reasons. One is if he liked his Les Paul more than his Schecters, so he knew he wasn't going to ever really be playing the Schecters, or there was something else that he wanted to be playing, something else that he knew he might want a relationship with. And this is where we move into speculation land, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've been speculating on it for how long? How long?
I think there's two main candidates, right?
Number one being Ola England and Solar Guitars.
Yeah, that's where I'm throwing my bets. I think Solar Guitars is a smart bet.
Yeah, it's a similar brand to Schecter in the sense that it kind of gears towards metal players.
Owned by a respected metal player.
Yep, not quite out there in terms of insane shapes or out of budget costs, and they are what you would, if you asked anyone who plays guitar and who likes metal, what you would envision a metal guitar being for someone who's a shredder. That's pretty much cut and paste exactly what you would expect.
And because it's a smaller company essentially owned by an artist, I would imagine there's a lot more room for profit. Therefore, there's more room for Jeff to make more money.
Also, you'd be a bigger focused endorsee, so therefore you're getting a better spotlight potentially.
He was Schecter's biggest, I would imagine. So he would still be getting a lot of clout from them, and they'd have a marketing budget for. It's really how you see old media, isn't it? Yeah. Schecter have a marketing budget to put adverts in magazines, whereas I think Ola England is in a position where he's a young business savvy guy in the same way that guys like Misha Mansour are. So I think he doesn't see as much value in old media. Adverts in print magazines and things like that. I think to someone like Ola, he knows that he can advertise just as effectively as the old companies think they can in magazines, just on YouTube and by word of mouth and by forums. So
and he's probably right, because that is this generation's advertising. Yeah, you get more information for Facebook than you do for the paper. I know I do. I don't read the papers anymore. I barely check the news, because anything that's worth seeing in the news, you'll see in Facebook. Yep, and a lot of other shit as well. But
so that's kind of where I'd throw my money. I think Solar is a good option for him.
Yeah, it's definitely like a safe bet. Is that the way you put it?
But I think the other kind of smart option, or not a smart option for him, but maybe a smart option for a betting man would be Loomis Guitars. His own brand. Why not? Why not? Chapman did it.
Yep.
It's been hugely successful for him. And people buy them. People buy them. Simple as that. Like, there are people out there that look at Rob Chapman and go, I mean, this guy has no fucking idea about building guitars. But I still want to buy his guitars.
Because Rabia Masad is playing one.
Yeah. It's not a flash in the pan. You know, Chapman Guitars are here to stay. So,
fair play to them. They're not terrible guitars. They're obviously budget conscious, and they're good specs for what you get money wise. So,
they've just got better and better as the years have gone by.
You're right. So. Like, there's definitely a value in their brand.
Yep.
And I would think the same. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that it was Chapman Guitars wrote on the headstock, I'd probably be quite a big fan. But I just don't see myself supporting Rob Chapman when he does my fucking tits in. I don't know the guy personally. Don't want to give him shit because, as I say, I don't know him personally. But
can't be dealing with more threats of lawyers, so we're going to stop talking about Rob.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. So
sorry,
but Ola is doing it as well, and Tosin Abassi is doing it. He's got his own line of guitars.
Have you seen the Tosin Abassi price points and stuff?
I have $3,000. No actual pictures of the guitars.
I don't think there's any actually been made except fucking prototypes.
The stuff that they had at NAMM. So
I mean, I don't like to be skeptical, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I sort of looked at those and thought to myself when he announced them, oh, this is a smart move. He'll be able to make some guitars for around the $1,000 mark. He'll clean up. But yeah, he's gone for proper boutique levels of pricing of things. So
they don't even look like $3,000 guitars, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they look really budget made.
What they look like to me is like they have a great margin on them. But fair enough. You know, again, it's that Misha mentality of you need to be smart about how you're making money in the industry. So I'm not going to. Tosin's not twisting anyone's arms.
No, and let's be quite honest, it might well be the case that the Tosin guitars end up in a local guitar shop. You and I go along for a look to see what's there, as we do, and play one and go, Jesus fucking Christ, what an instrument that is. It could well happen. It's not unfeasible.
Seems unlikely.
Unlikely isn't unfeasible.
Only because, we talked about these, talked about Evertune at some point.
Last episode, I believe.
Yeah, unless...
It was, we were talking about John Shuker's guitars as well.
Yeah, so unless Tosin's going to be releasing an 8-string with an Evertune, I'm just not interested. I'm just so impressed with the Evertune 8-string. So,
quite rightly.
Yeah.
It's good back up.
So, fingers crossed. It's one of those two options. Could be totally wrong. He could be being completely genuine and just wanting to play some Gibsons and some Fenders and just having a good time.
Imagine he just cracked up and he was playing like a fucking Korean squire.
Yeah.
Just going for it.
Yeah. Ultimately, I'm going to have mad respect either way because he will have been making a lot of money at Schecter.
Wild card. The next Ibanez and Dorsey. Don't see it happening, but given how much a push they're making at the moment and the amount of incredible endorsements they're giving out and incredible models they're bringing out, and Ibanez trying to reinvent themselves to fit that niche. I mean, they're bringing out models with fucking Babinga necks and stainless steel frets, and
I wouldn't even say it's a wild card option. I'd say that's a predictable bet because you're totally right. Everything you said there.
The only reason I say it's the wild card is he's never played Ibanez before. He's always been Schecter.
I mean, I bet they've tried.
So. They'd be stupid not to, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's business.
Yeah. So mad respect for Jeff, whatever he does. Like I say, it's not that I'm not a fan. It's just that I'm also not
familiar.
Not a fan.
I'll change that. Don't you worry.
Yeah, probably not. It's hard to get me into metal these days, which again is a great segue.